Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Colorado Rockies. A quick shout out to Brian Guerra 7094, who said, "Am I reading this correctly? The Fresno Grizzlies won 125-7 last season." Maybe. Let's find out. If we look at the player development screen, I think it lists the minor league teams. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you, my friend. 125 wins and 7 losses. Pretty crazy stuff. That's what we call good in the business, by the way. That's a technical term for it. It's pretty good. Our last episode ended in heartbreak. We made it to the World Series. We were riding high, and we were defeated. And okay, how do we get back to my office? Here you go. I'm trying if we're defeated in 6 or 7. If we do playoffs here. Oh, we didn't make it to the World Series. That's right. We got bounced out in the NLCS. So, yeah. Mostly because players we relied upon all season and Will Levy, Santa Cruz, Beguin, all had real serious trouble. If we look at the postseason series here, we had some great performances, but notable by his absence was Naganori Ida. And that's why we're going to say goodbye to him as our very first act of this particular episode. This is going to make the fans pretty pissed off. They're going to get mad at me for doing this, but it's the right thing to do. Mr. Ida, thank you for your service. Goodbye. I will talk to him and see if he's willing to take less money, but he probably won't, and that's okay. This had to happen. And I know it sucks if you're a fan of the Rockies, but we need that payroll flexibility. We need to start being able to spend money where we want to in order to make sure that we're successful year in and year out. And that means stepping this way the fuck up. It's maxing out both of these budgets and then seeing what we have left over, and then we can decide how to spend what's left. We still have loads of money, by the way. We still have lots and lots and lots of money. But now we can fuel this engine. We can make ourselves an even better club going forward by investing heavily in our highly regarded minor league system. I mean, if you take a look at, we got some really talented people. Admittedly, many of them are injured, but nevertheless, we've got a farm system to be proud of. Something I was thinking about as we start filling out some of our coaching spots here is, I was asking myself the question, which team would be better in 10 seasons? Would it be the White Sox or the Rockies? And I think it genuinely would be the Rockies. We have done an excellent job of leveraging our salaries, and we're not paying as much money as the White Sox are, just by sheer virtue of the fact that, well, what's the word I'm looking for here? My brain is not braining. I apologize to you all. It doesn't matter. Alfred Joseph is a hitting coach. There you go. Because we're not spending money on free agents, we're spending money mostly on arbitration costs and keeping players we've already got happy. I think we're in great shape. I truly think we're in great shape. I'm gonna go. I would promote Billy Ashley, but he's actually a better manager than he is a pitching coach. So we're gonna go ahead and make Mr. Andrade here our new pitching coach in Double-A. We've got some pitching coach spots here. Billy actually won't consider it a promotion, so he won't do it. Baron Stewart will. Frank Graham is fine. Ryan Hernandez is also pretty good. I'm gonna promote Baron Stewart, mostly because he's super young, but also because I think he's actually a pretty good pitching coach. And then we need to find a new hitting coach for A-ball. Clark Egan is a pretty damn good choice. I don't see any reason to look too far back. So I need to look at Dadney here. Dadney is arguably best suited for the rookie leagues, where mechanics are so valuable. And then we just go hire some coaches. Gary Nowakowski, welcome if you're willing to the Rockies. Let's get some people no hitting. I mean, these are some amazing coaches that I almost certainly won't be able to keep, but it would be cool if I could. Yeah. All right, coaches sorted. Let's talk player development now. I really need David Crawford to improve his slider or his movement. Actually, movement would be even more welcome. Let's have him work on his movement. This is a big season for Rodarte. I need him to start capitalizing on his tremendous physical gifts. He's got to start driving baseballs the way that we expect him to in order for him to be a high-quality player. So let's have him work on his gap power. I could have him work on his power, period. I want to do something that's a bit more likely to be successful. Mr. Man of Mitts, I would love you to work on your batting eye. Alright, now let's give the true rookies, the guys who haven't played, some attention. Bob Long desperately needs help in control, though. Desperately. Alright, let's look at our prospects now. Who we got? David Bennett needs to just even slightly improve his control to even be a useful pitcher in the minor league. So we'll have him work on control. Done. Jason Nish can also work on his control, I think. I think that's a smart decision here. Mr. Arguello here, already in Double-A, has a very realistic chance to make the majors in a season or two. Let's have you work on your secondary pitches, I think. I think that's the best use of your time. There you go. And then let's get real boring. No, I actually want to train up Danny Gonzalez. He will be our starting catcher sooner or later, and I want to be ready when he is. Let's have you get to work on being more selective at the plate. There we go. What else I need to do? I need to talk about arbitration stuff. That's right. Willie Garcia's fine. Like, he's fine enough I can offer him an extension. A minor league one, rather. If they don't like it, that's equally fine. They can find a new club to annoy. Do we have Bobby Rivera to the 40-man? I don't think we do. I think we just have to consider him to have been not very good. I wonder if I could trade him. Can I trade Bobby Rivera? Is that a legal thing to do? No. Nobody wants him because they realize they have to add him to the 40-man to keep him, and they're probably like, you're not going to want to do that, and they're not wrong. I mean, he's better than Johnny Anderson, though, right? He was so good in the minors this past season. I'm going to give him a chance. Because I don't give a shit about Johnny Anderson. But I do care about Bobby Rivera. So we're going to try that out. Kurt Norton also gets added to the 40-man, as I think does Mr. Carino here. And then we can talk about other roster spots when we've settled in on what we're doing with our arbitration people. Alright. I think Willie Alvarez is too limited for what we're looking for. I know he had that one really good season for us, and it wasn't that long ago. But he doesn't have great stamina. his velocity is subpar. And for a guy who doesn't throw very hard, he doesn't have the raw control you'd like to see. I'm not saying he's not a good pitcher, but I'm saying that we might be able to get a prospect for him that we could be proud of. Let me take this moment to get a drink. We could get Mark Hutnick. A flamethrowing reliever is always interesting to me. His control is not very good, but I think he can maybe make it work. If I'm not going to keep Alvarez, and I'm not, I think this is as good as we're going to get, and so we make this trade. I could, if I wanted to, ask for additional prospects. It's worth looking. It's absolutely worth looking. I could take Matt Humphrey if you're willing to give him up. Aaron Davis is somebody I could get kind of excited about if you're willing to part with him. You know what? I'm just going to end it here. This is a perfectly fine trade. We upgraded our prospect pool at the expense of a starter that wasn't going to make the team anyway. Nick Aronson wants to get paid a lot of money. Of his 4-season career, 3 of them have actually been really good. So I think he's the kind of guy that I don't mind investing a little bit of money into. I think paying him his 4 whatever is reasonable. It's a reasonable take. Gary Cruz has given us 2 back-to-back seasons of exemplary performance. I think that's more than worthy of being awarded a longer contract. A second year, that is. We can definitely afford to pay him and be happy about it. Ryan Russell is so fascinating to me because he has been a solid reliever, and I value his lightness, but he is already 30 years old. What are we looking at pitching-wise? Who's most ready for the majors? Really nobody. Mike Mullet is pretty close, actually. Mike Mullet probably has every possibility to make a spot in the roster. It's true. What do we do? Do we keep Ryan Russell? For $2 million, I think it's probably worth it. And if it turns out he doesn't work out, then we can trade him fairly easily. Robbie Brewer is done. Robbie Brewer has had multiple seasons to show that he can be an above-average player, and he has not done it. I very much value his defensive capabilities, but at some point you have to do more than just play defense. Especially when his defensive career doesn't look that impressive. He's basically been a slightly below-average infielder, and it's just not worth it anymore. Robbie, somebody's probably going to give you a chance to be a great player, and I hope they do. Oh, nobody wants you. Then we're just going to non-tender you. Like, you're not even worth $1.8 million to me. You can't be trusted. Carlos Martinez, on the other hand. He's probably about ready to get a very long-term contract. I think we give him 1 more year before we do that. I think it's best for us and it's best for him to let him stick around for 1 more year. Anderson Fermin, I think we have to let go at this point. I know he's not asking for a lot of money, but he's asking for $7 million, which isn't nothing. And I have other players that could fill his role, and I would be reasonably happy about that. I think at the age of 30, if Anderson Fermin isn't good enough to be a guaranteed starting center fielder, he's not good enough to stay on the team anymore. Anybody want you, or am I going to non-tender you as well? I would bring him back for less money. That is something I am prepared to do. What do I have in the outfield game? Do I have outfielders that are ready for playing time? Travis Cooper is. Travis Cooper can actually play center field fairly well. So he's definitely the kind of guy that might be the beneficiary. Sort by position again. Fernando Carino, Cody Kessner. I've got enough interesting outfielders that I don't feel that I'm obligated to bring back Todd May. But I do know that Todd May is very inexpensive. Todd May is only requiring $1.8 million. And he has produced enough value in his time with us that I think he's earned one more year. With the understanding that he's very rapidly replaceable if it turns out that he's not what we're looking for. So all this has been sorted. Oh, did I officially make Ida a former Rocky? I feel fairly certain that I did, but in case I didn't. I would happily bring back Ida if the opportunity presented itself, but he's probably going to be very, very unwilling to talk to me. Because he's going to be pissed off at me because I cut him. But it was the right decision, and I will stand by that without any seconds hesitation. It was the right choice. Investing that much money in a player that wasn't staying healthy was just... Jeremy Rockhoff is already shaking me down for more money. That's fine. You can have 150 grand. That's fine. We can also now invest in a high-quality minor league free agent. Mr. Novakowski's been offered more money. I can offer you 200 grand. See if I don't. Rome is happy. Rockhoff is happy. We're all happy here. Now Froma's getting more money too. That's gross. 200 grand, fine. $225. All right. We got Russell. The fans do like Carlos Martinez quite a lot, which suggests to me that a longer-term deal might be prudent, but I want to give him one more year before I commit. We got coaches sorted out. Gary Cruz is coming back. Amazing. Let's go right up to free agency filings at this point. We kept Todd May. All the coaches have signed. Everybody is happy. Great work, guys. Great work. Johnny Anderson, go to AAA, I guess. I want to wait till free agency because I want to see how many roster spots I have available. You'd offer me Chris Parker, huh? Chris Parker has played in the majors and is therefore uninteresting to me. A gold glove for Barry Keller, that's fun. Carlos Martinez won his first Silver Slugger, that's pretty exciting. Like, I'm not opposed to giving him a longer deal. I just want to make sure that we have put him through all of his possible paces before we do commit to him more heavily. Although he is going to finish pretty high in the MVP voting, so I think he'll definitely make a lot of money in his next contract. For sure. Probably from me. Ken Smith is unacceptable. I am not parting with Rodarte. Not at this point in his career. I need a DH anyway, and I think he can handle that pretty well. Frequency filings. What do we got? Now, if Eden wants to come back for like $10 million, that is a deal I will happily make. No, he thinks he's worth his gigantic contract, so I wish you well, my friend, but you will not be joining us. Now, Fumi Tanaka, on the other hand, pretty decent all-around hitter, very good defensive second baseman. Arm strength isn't the best. I feel like it's not going to happen because of Yasukawa. And I definitely wouldn't let you be a shortstop. Yasukawa would be an okay shortstop, though. Maybe this is the correct solution to our problem. Grab Mr. Naofumi Tanaka here. Let's make this last year a team option for, I guess, $3 million. You play second. Yasukawa shifts over to shortstop. And then we're cooking. This is a very, very good type of deal for us. I like it a lot. Now show me my non-MLB filter, please. I will offer Matt Miller a contract. I think that's probably it. I think this is probably my entire free agent season. But Tanaka, if he works out, is excellent. He gives us a much stronger middle field. He gives us a much stronger infield and defense. He lets me move Yasukawa to shortstop, where it'll be even more valuable. Like, this is genuinely an excellent outcome. Who replaces Ida? I'm not 100% sure yet. That's something I'm going to have to think about. We have choices. We have people that we can get excited about. Who do we have if we look at by overall? Roman Grubbs wants to be paid $8.5 million. That's a lot of dollars. We could add on Shinji Matsumoto. I don't have a strong enough outfield to turn down quality help, so sure. Apparently we're just going to dominate the Japanese market. That's the strategy I've evidently taken here. I'm kind of here for it. Luke Kelly. Oh, this is a Peter Parker. It says Parker Pico, which is less exciting to me, but still acceptable. That's fine. I won't mess with anybody else here. This is just a matter of just adding in some bodies that can have interesting roles in spring training if we want them to. Yeah, I don't want your shitty outfielder. Let's go to Hall of Fame voting. That'll be a good time. Angel Feliz? Nope. What happened to... Oh, we traded him, didn't we? We traded Tovar, or did he just retire? Alright, I've got 3 roster spots remaining. I'm not going to waste one on Charlie Condon. Steve McDowell is interesting. He's interesting enough that I don't want to take a chance on him slipping through the cracks. Does anybody want Vince Powers? Somebody might actually want to trade for him, right? Pat Ginder? Oh, you're somebody else that has to get a roster spot, aren't you? There's no way you're not Rule 5 eligible. Oh, you're not Rule 5 eligible. Perfect. Let's acquire you. Done. I think we also trade Casey, but I think we keep Balorin. Because Casey's control is so bad, it means I can't really trust him. So that's kind of how I feel about that. I'm hopeful that investing all this money in our minor league system will hopefully help people develop. That's the hope anyway. Andres the Cruz has played in the major leagues. Cease thy complaints, sir. We did get Tanaka, which is very sexy. That's very good. I'm going to tell Ullery and Bowman. Not Bowman. Bowman might actually end up staying. I'm going to tell Ullery, though, that he can depart if he likes. I like this infield a lot. We need a better outfield for sure. Part of that's going to be Travis Cooper going up to the major leagues. Part of that's going to be maybe a Jeff Carr or a Fernando Carino. Actually, Jeff Carr's got a really good chance to make the opening day roster because he's a very well-suited outfielder. We've got choices of what matters, right? I like it. I don't want your old-ass relievers, dude. You are the height of foolishness, sir. The height of foolishness. Alright. I'll vote for Acuna and Alvarez, I guess. I'll vote for Rafael Devers. This is not a terribly thrilling Hall of Fame class so far. Machado is good. Soto is excellent. Soto very much deserves it. Our old friend Ezekiel Tovar, gotta vote for him. Oh, he did retire, that's right. That's correct. Christian Yelich and I think Trey Turner is where... No, Zach Wheeler over Trey Turner. For sure. It's Tariq Skubal. We can vote for him too. Sure. There we go. Cool. So we're going to go to the Rule 5 draft. I would be very happy if we could free up another roster spot. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Edgar Castillo. And probably somebody else I'm not even thinking of yet. But yeah, I want to have spots on the Rule 5 draft so I can try to snap up an undervalued outfielder in particular. I'd love to get an outfielder into spring training, let him get some reps at the big league club, and then see what we're talking about. Oh, people love them some Edgar Castillo. Okay, noted. Did I get bamboozled because it's on the wrong button? I did get bamboozled slightly. I still don't think Castillo's all that great, but that's my own fault. I didn't have the correct scouting thing set up, so oh well. People going after Edgar Castillo, they're like, fuck yeah. Which is reasonable. Like, I'm not upset that I lost him. I don't think it's going to make a huge impact, probably. That is a very bad deal, because he plays for the wrong position. Luis Kova, no thank you. You've played in the majors, my friend. You are not a minor leaguer. Cease. Cease thy comments. No! I do not want Pete Crow Armstrong. Go away. Alright, you guys are all doing stuff. That's fine. Let's delete all the emails. Let's clear out my message box. Oh, how close did Carlos Martinez get to winning MVP, I wonder? Third place. It's a pretty good year. It's a pretty good year. You should feel proud of his performances. The Chris Brown? No. I don't think so, guys. I don't think I want players that have played in the major leagues because they are scum. They have been horribly ruined by whomever they've played for. We need to teach them the Rockies way, okay? This guy's got a big serial killer name, but who boy would he look good if we can get a hold of him. Somebody took Charlie Condon, which bums out the fans. Who ended up getting Charlie Condon? Cleveland did. Okay. Alright. We lost Bill Gandara. I don't really care. I mean, I guess he's fine. Like, he's not a bad pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. But he wasn't in my immediate plans, so it doesn't bother me too much. Now, when there's much bigger prizes, like... Danny Vinciguerra is really good. I think we take him. I think he... Oh, nope. He played in the majors. Boo hiss, boo. Okay. Dylan Patrick Baxter is unironically a very good pitcher. He's got a lot going for him. I think we take him. Brian the Salty One is fine, I suppose. Gabe Lopez. You know what Gabe Lopez is? Gabe Lopez is a reasonable bench bat. And I'm kind of into that. I talked about it during the White Sox series last Friday, but I tend to undervalue bench players, but I think Gabe Lopez could actually be pretty tasty. Let's welcome him from the Woo Sox to the Rocks, I guess. And I think this is fine. I think this is all I really wanted out of the Rule 5. A couple lottery tickets. Yeah. All right. Let's see if Ezekiel Tovar makes the Hall of Fame. He probably doesn't. I would be pretty surprised if he did. It might make his team better, but he's played in the major leagues, so you need to stop. Crook Torbet is unallowed. The Rangers are paying Ida a shit ton of money. Yeah, he got his bag. For a 3-year deal, which is at least less bad. But was way too much. I love Ida. I wish I'd been able to keep him. But he had priced himself out of my abilities to keep him around. I need to stay invested in a minor league system. That's what has to happen. That's what gets us not only World Series appearances, but consistency. Consistency comes from the minor leagues, even if you lose a little bit of top-tier stuff. Trick Scooble made it. Nice. Tovar only got about 20% of the vote, a little bit less. That's disheartening. I mean, look, he's going to have a hard road to hoe anyway. I don't think he's going to make the Hall of Fame, but it's cool that he stuck around, and we can keep voting for him. Here's where we open up our checkbooks. We want an incredible international free agent. That's something we very, 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 very want. Give me the default, and I want raw, unmitigated potential. Andres Bueno. I don't think so. I know his bat is otherworldly, and he's not a terrible third baseman. Maybe he is actually the fit. Maybe he is the guy that we want. Like, he's gonna hit so many home runs, right? Yeah, I think we just go for Mr. Bueno here. Oh, this shit again. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. International. No, organization, international here. Alright, if you're 18, you get promoted. Whether you're good, bad, or indifferent, welcome to pro baseball. And now I can make my offer to Mr. Bueno here. As we are hoping he will be muy bueno. Done. Do I think we can win the World Series this year? It's a good question. I think we are significantly more competitive without Ida than we were with Ida. I think this team has gotten a lot younger while still keeping a core of excellent players. Colin Ritchie is the next guy that's probably going to be departing. So looking for a third baseman is something we're going to want to prioritize. Milam could depart after this season if Danny Gonzalez can prove to be of high value to us. Yasukawa probably needs to get signed here relatively quickly because he's going to be my next big chunk player. What is Colin Ritchie looking for in his next deal? He's looking for basically what he's got right now. Noted. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is nice to know that he's willing to stick around here for no actual raise. I think Colin Ritchie is overpaid for what he produces, but he's not drastically overpaid. $16 million for a person that's worth 1.5 to 2 wins is... It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's not... It isn't a bad situation by any stretch of the imagination. Poor Pat Demers. He was so excited about getting ready to play shortstop this year, and then I'm like, fuck you, buddy. You've been replaced. Alright, guys. Let's set up the spring training roster. Mr. Ginder here, who I just acquired, could be promoted. If you want to throw a couple baseballs off the mound, I'm okay with that. Where Matsumoto, Hutnick, not Hutnick, never Hutnick. David Martinez, maybe. I think letting Arguello get a little bit of experience in the major leagues this season is smart. Letting him play in spring training is a good idea. We have Sincere Edwards, as opposed to Insincere Edwards. I quite like him, actually. I think he's got a lot to offer us. So I think letting him get some major league experience in spring training is smart. Definitely Jeff Carr. Okay. I think this is probably fun. We can also promote Garcia and Gainan and just give them, you know, the occasional at-bat. Same thing for Eric Griffin. Do we have any relatively high-ranking pitchers that are ready for an opportunity? Jim Sellers is criminally wasted if he's in high A right now. He's going to go to double A this season, so letting him get some minor league reps is also good. Yeah, Jim Sellers could be our third base replacement, so we don't want to lose him and not give him meaningful opportunities here. Jason Nish is... Okay, David Bennett needs to be up in A-ball. We'll worry about all this stuff here in a little bit. once we have finished with this. Alex Diaz is not ready for Oscar, or Major League pitching time, as one might say. I so want Bob Long to be an important piece of this rotation because he's A, left-handed, but B, he's also very, very good at his job. Very, very good. Lineups, do what you want first. You didn't do what I thought you would do. Tanaka plays second and Yasukawa plays shortstop. And then playing DH is somebody. Trask is currently playing center field. I'm fine with that. I think he's well deserving to be a center fielder for us. I see somebody. It might as well be... Oh, Seller's already starting at third base. I guess let's let Colin Ritchie play DH then. Sure. Nope. Here you go. Benching Ritchie already is bold, but I don't disagree with it necessarily, depending on how spring training goes. All right, and let's generate some depth charts here. We like Griffin more than we like Gonzalez. Interesting. Griffin is a pretty good backup catcher, in all honesty. All right, guys, let's see how this works out. Oh, we're not playing Rodarte. The fuck is wrong with you, game? Absolutely, Rodarte is going to be my DH. I would rather bench Ritchie than Rodarte. Rodarte is almost certainly going to be my opening day DH unless something really fucking wild happens. So get in there, mate. Alright, let's simulate the rest of February and let's see how things go. Crawford's about the same. Rodarte got better. Nice. Most people got better. Just not Arguello, which is fine. It's fine. A week is not a biggie. I don't know why you're bothering me about that. I don't mind if he misses a week. Anybody who wants to miss a week, that doesn't hurt me very much. I think Curtis Norton's got a good chance to make the roster as a reserve infielder just because he's so good as both the pitcher and an infielder. Getting a two-way guy feels pretty great to me. Bob Long is really, really, really close to being a starting pitcher for us. Really, really close. Pittsburgh loses Franklin Diaz. I mean, okay, fine. I don't know why you're talking to me about that. He must have one of my former dudes, I guess. I probably want to go through the international comebacks and start cutting people that suck. My friend, you are in grave danger of not even making the opening day roster. All right, we got 52 players. Let's start saying goodbye to players. Let's reduce this roster down. I'm going to trade Colin Ritchie. I'm going to see if anybody is interested in adding him to their team for a prospect or two. I think Jim Sellers just won this job out of spring training. 100%. Willie Cantu, welcome to the Rockies. Let's make this trade happen. It also frees up a lot of money for this year, so we're in a very good position financially here. But yeah, Richie was never coming back. I was never going to bring him back. And I probably could have gotten more out of the Angels, but I think this is still good. This opens up a very clear path for Jim Sellers now. I had no intention of playing him this year, but he has definitely shown me a lot. I think he is actually ready for the major leagues. Let's decide who isn't ready for the major leagues, though. Let's make that choice here. All right, so we start with 26 pitchers. I want to do everything we possibly can to keep Kurt Norton if I can. Norton's sheer flexibility and being a very good pitcher that can also play first base and second. I guess he's actually not that good a fielder, is he? He's okay. Maybe I don't have to promote Norton yet. Maybe I can think about it. I will think about it. We're going to do pitching first anyways. All right. Sanchez to the minors. We start with that. Arguello is really, really close. I want to start the year in AAA, though. I want him to start. I don't want him to relieve. That's what I want for him. Balorin to the minors. Josh Campbell to the minors. Sheelan Kai needs another year in the minors before he's ready for the big time. Ginder to the minors. Martinez to the minors. Pizzulo to the minors. Wadlington to the minors. I've got to say goodbye to 4 more pitchers, one of whom is Norton. This can't be true, can it? There we go. Yeah, Norton has been an amazing hitter. I think we let Norton play in AAA this year. I think this is the solution to the Norton problem, is he plays in AAA. But it isn't. I mean, I guess that is one of the pitching decisions I had to make, so that's fair. I think John Keisler stays in the minors for another season. 2 more pitchers got to go. All right, that's what we have to keep in mind. 2 more pitchers have to depart. And I want to give Bobby Rivera a shot. I want him to be the long man out of the bullpen and see if there's anything there. So we say goodbye to Baxter. Baxter returns to his home club. Do we let Bobby Rivera start as the 5th starter? Is that what I'm thinking here? Because then I can send Barry Keller to the minor leagues. Actually, Barry Keller was pretty good last year. I'm not going to demote him. That would be silly. Letting Mike Mullet pitch in AAA isn't the worst idea. Like, look, if I'm thinking purely with my heart, then we keep Rivera. I still think keeping Rivera is the right choice, though. I think we do want a nice long man out of the bullpen that can start and can basically get us out of a sticky situation. So I think that's what we do. I think this is our choice here. So the question becomes, do we keep Ryan Russell? I think the answer question is also yes, so I think that means Mullet returns to the minors. I'm not upset about that. Mike Mullet has barely any time in the minor league, so letting him get used to things in the pros is a welcome decision. All right. All my catchers besides Milam and Gonzalez go to the minors. This was never a consideration. Matsumoto goes to the minors. McDowell definitely goes to the minors, question mark. McDowell's never played above A ball. I think that means he plays in Double A, and we see what he does over time. Jason Ripley is somebody I am interested in trying out as a utility guy. I think he's got enough bat to make it stick. I think he's got good speed. I think he's got a good glove. So I think we keep Edwards, which we keep Ripley. Edwards goes to the minors. Edwards performed quite well in Double A, but I'd like him to return there because he's only 21. Let him return to Double A. Let him get some practice, right? Demers goes to Triple A. And then the question becomes, do we keep Gabe Lopez? I want to see if we can at all make it possible to keep him around, because I genuinely believe that he could be a valuable piece of this team. Outfielders. Bowman to the minor leagues. Triple A is fine for right now. Carino is ready for Triple A, but he's not ready for the majors yet. Garcia and Gainon go where they go. So I guess I'm committed to Sellers being my starting third baseman, which I'm fine with. I think that's reasonable. I think letting Jepkar start in AAA is fine. I think this is okay. So Cody Kessner gets to make the roster for the first time as our backup outfielder. We got Rodarte DHing, and then the rest of things going the rest of the ways they need to go. All right, let's get the minor leagues set up now. So I want to get the minor leagues configured correctly. I think we just released Brett McCann. I think there's nothing he has up to offer us. He's only an 11th round draft pick. I wish you well with a different team, but not with this one. Because we've got to make room for people here. I have way too many outfielders in AAA. I'm going to send Ullery down a level. And I'm going to send Lyons down a level. Oscar Crespo gets promoted. Blake Long gets promoted. That all seems reasonable. I need a catcher, actually. Send Eric Griffin down to Double A, I think. No, he spent most year in Double A. I think so we promote Jeff Jiglinski. And then promote Phil Harbor up a level. Well, Phil Harbor's a reliever, not a catcher. Lamau. Let's get Larry Benflizal then. Harbor can go to Double A. That's fine with me. Brian Casey gets promoted just because he has to be promoted at this stage. There's nothing though for him to show us in the low minors. Tim Griffin gets promoted, I think. I'll promote Logan Hubbard too. Then I need to get some people from into A-ball. David Bennett definitely gets promoted to A-ball. I think that's the correct choice there. Matt Miller gets promoted here. Taylor Reynolds can be promoted. John Martin can be promoted. Antonio Saenz can be promoted. And look, once season actually gets started, we'll probably end up cutting some people anyway, so it's fine if we have a little bit of a mismatch here. Alright, let's get our... Oh, did any other rookie make the team? I think it was just Sellers, right? Yeah, it was just Sellers. Well, Kastner's also a rookie, but he doesn't need to be added to the 40-man, which is the point I was trying to make there. Bobby Rivera, I want you to be the emergency starter. I think that is the role I need you to play right now. No openers. Openers suck. I want Begin to be the closer. I just trust him more than I trust Aronson right at this split second. I think letting Aronson be the setup is no reflection on his abilities. Daniel Olson, do I want you to be a specialist? No, you're pretty good against either. That's reasonable. This is an okay setup here. Bob Long is going to be fascinating because if he manages even a modicum of control, he's going to be really good. Because he's got some really good pitches here. He's got really nice ratings here. Great velocity, good stamina. He's got a lot of potential. So this is pitching. Pitching is set. Dunzo. I'm going to rebuild my lineup from scratch. From all of the scratches. Batting ratings. I like Carlos Martinez hitting second. I think that's his best position because he does have fairly good power. So letting him hit second lets him drive in the leadoff guy. So I think that's who's going to hit second. It's going to be Carlos Martinez. It's either Yasukawa. I think it's Yasukawa leading off. I think that's the right choice here. Either Yasukawa leads off or Yasukawa hits third. I don't think I wanted me to start Cooper, make him lead off hitter. I love his speed, but I question his ability to get on base consistently. I'd like him to bat lower in the lineup. I value on base skills a little bit too highly. So I guess that means that it is going to be Yasukawa leading off, which I'm completely fine with. So Yasukawa gets on base, Martinez moves him up, and then who hits third right now? I want to say it's Mittman, so I think it will be Mittman. The man of mitts, as he likes to be called. It's a bit of a gamble, but he proved to be an excellent hitter during his partial season, and so I think letting him hit third is fine. Then we're going to let Milam clean up, followed by Jim Sellers. No, not Sellers, Rodarte, I think. I think Rodarte is very, very well-rounded, and so letting him at fifth makes a lot of sense to me. So he's going to play DH. He's not going to be our leadoff guy. Who at sixth? Jim Sellers, 100%. Then Mr. Tanaka here. Then Travis Cooper, followed by Todd May. It could also be Cody Kessner, but Todd May is better right now, and so that's what I value slightly more. Generate me a depth chart here. This is fine. This is perfect. I hope Ripley works out. I hope he's able to put together strong enough at bats to justify his glove. He has shown some skill at hitting in the minor league, so it's not like we're being unreasonable by asking him to be an effective player. So yeah. Tanaka's bat is going to be really fascinating to me. That's going to be the difference between this looking like a great decision and a fairly dumb decision. Because he's already a pretty good second baseman. Like, he's already a pretty skilled defender. So, as long as he can put the ball in play, drive in occasional runs, but also play great defense, I think we'll get our money's worth for him during his opening contract here. We have a very good defensive team. Not Jim Sellers. Jim Sellers is definitely going to need some work, but that's okay to me. Look at this ridiculous year in A-ball. Holy shit, bro. 52 home runs. That's what happens when your team is 125-7, right? So yeah, this is our opening day lineup here. I want to try to do a little bit of swapping around if I can, if that's permitted. But I don't know that it matters that much to me. Like, letting Gabe Lopez get the occasional at-bat is not that important to me. Same with Ripley. I do want Danny Gonzalez playing with some frequency, so we're going to set Danny Gonzalez to play currently once every 5 games. That'll keep Milam nice and fresh, while also making sure that Danny Gonzalez is ready for the future. I want to see him get about 250 at-bats this year. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Because there's so much to like about a fully operational Danny Gonzalez that I am pretty excited to see how this turns out. This feels good. This feels correct. And a dream Chris over for Lugo. Poor Lugo. I don't even know who that is, but I feel bad for him nonetheless. Tim Quallings. Do we have a top 10 minor league system? We probably should. We're at 7th. Nice. How is Arguello not even in the top 100? How the fuck does that happen? He's so good. And yeah, he only ranks Travis Shamachary. This is a pivotal year for his development. I need to see him have a good year in AAA, but if he does, I think he is just about ready for the major leagues, which is very, very exciting. I love seeing these young players improve to the point where I'm ready to call them up and give them some meaningful play appearances. Kurt Norton is such a weird dude, guys. I don't know what to do about him. He's like, basically, I'm a great long reliever. I can do a little bit of starting, but I'm really here to hit. And I kind of respect that a lot. I feel bad for Pat Demers. There's definitely a world in which he became my starting shortstop. But then I saw Tanaka, and then Yasukawa became my starting shortstop. So we'll see how this works out, but I think it's going to work out pretty well. I think Yasukawa is in line for a very big payday. We're asking a couple rookies to do quite a lot, which is something to keep an eye on. We're asking for Paniagua, I want to keep around. Zapata, we can say goodbye to him. So I just wanted to go to the international thing here and take anybody who just like utterly sucks and tell them goodbye. See you later, Jose Perez. We got 2 rookies playing big roles on this club. Jim Sellers starting at third base, and Bob Long is my 5th starter. If they both have great years, we have an incredibly deep rotation, and we have somebody that makes us forget about Colin Ritchie. Now, Jim Sellers is certainly not a perfect player, and I'm expecting him to be our permanent solution at third base, but he could be. There's definitely a world in which he performs very, very well, and he is our everyday third baseman for a few seasons, which could be pretty good. I really want to see Rodarte this year. I want to see this improve. Right now, he's a solid all-around hitter. If he wants to be an all-star, he's got to start clubbing home runs. This is what separates you from most of the people on this roster. If you start hitting 20, 30 home runs a year, this number goes up, then I think your spot on this team is set. we've got a set role. Matt Mittman has a very big job to play as well. I know he's talking about a rookie. He played too much last year. He's filling the shoes of a legend in Charlie Condon. And I think he's capable of doing it. I don't think he's as good as Charlie Condon, but I think he is very good. And I think at least he's going to last us for the next 2 to 3 seasons for sure. Looking forward, looking ahead, we have some exciting players ready for opportunities here. I like Fernando Carino. He's not a very good outfielder, so we're going to watch out for that, but he's pretty good. Jeff Carr is the real one here. Jeff Carr is a very good outfielder who's got some pretty good skills here, putting the bat on the ball. He's also a great person. So I think Jeff Carr has got a really good chance to be an important piece here as well. Very deep AAA bullpen. Some interesting starters ready for bigger opportunities, I think. And if we look at our prospect pipeline, just Rockies, please. Wow, you really like you some Steve Kujawski, huh? Number 3 prospect, despite the fact we think he sucks pretty bad. David Bennett's real good, though. Colorado Rockies. Well, look at this. 2038s across the board. Here's some 2037s. I think Mullet and Norton are both ready now. We think Edwards is ready. We think Hutnick is ready. We think Arguello is ready. We've got a lot of very, very talented players that are waiting for opportunities. And so one thing we want to avoid, if we can, is we want to avoid overcommitting to players that haven't earned it yet. But there's a lot of talent waiting for opportunities here, so I'm excited to see how that all works out. I'm also excited to see what happens that we invested so much more money into player development. Like, we're putting fat stacks of cash into this, and that gives me some hope that we'll start to see people build on successes from past seasons. I mean, obviously I don't expect us to win 125 games like we did last season, but it'd be cool if we did. Friends, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you're enjoying this series. We're going to keep plugging away. We're going to try to get that precious championship for Colorado, and I think we're close. We're definitely trending in the right direction. Over the past, 9 seasons, we made the postseason 7 times. That's really good. That's really good. Making the postseason consistently is step 1. If you can make the postseason every year or most years, that's when you kick it up a notch. That's when you start really pushing. And one thing we lack because of our self-imposed rules is we can't buy our way into a World Series, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it's good because then instead we can just have lots of turnover and see good young players make the major leagues. You might recall, not too long ago, I was complaining about how old our team was. We have 1 starter over 30 right now. That's really, really good. And if certain players develop the way we hope that they will, like Danny Gonzalez, for instance, Milo might be gone next year. He also might be kept. He's a really good all-around player, and I'm not eager to get rid of him. We even keep him long-term. Danny Gonzalez seems like he still needs quite a bit more baking before he's ready to come out of the oven. If that's the case, that's fine. So maybe Milam is the one that gets to stick around. He's the one that gets to tell us about the glory days of Charlie Condon and Ezekiel Tovar. He's been around a while, though. He's been around a while. Good player. Good player. But thank you very much for watching. As always, your viewership is very appreciated. I hope you are enjoying this series and the White Sox series. As a bit of a programming note, I'm going to be recording. I'm going to be out the second week of December. I have a work trip that I need to go on, so I won't be able to record videos. So I'm going to record a couple videos in advance for you. At some point, we will replace the Rockies series with a Monday video. Probably Victoria 3, although EU5 is a possibility. Although I want to wait till some more errors get fixed, some more bugs get fixed in EU5 before I get excited about that one a bit more. So, Regardless, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.